Hey everyone, I couldn't find any videos on YouTube on this, so I thought I'd make one. So this is about the friction zone on a motorcycle and how do you adjust it. In the safety class, they taught us that the friction zone this is the clutch. When you squeeze it all the way in, there's no power going to the bike, so it's basically like being in neutral. As you slowly let go, they told us to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 would be all the way out, and somewhere in there, one number, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, somewhere in there is when the power is going to hit the wheel, and that it's different on different bikes. So on my bike, which is a 2002 Triumph Bonneville America, I was going, and it was like all the way out almost at 5 before it would hit, and that made it I'm a new rider, so it made it tough. Like I'd go forward and I'm like, oh, I can't grip it was pretty kind of scary. So I was figuring how to adjust it. And there's a lot of talk about down here. This is hot, so I gotta be careful, but this right here, these bolts. So this one I can unscrew, and what I did is I unscrewed it about 1/4 of an inch, and then I adjusted this 1/4 of an inch. So when I went too far the first time, and what I noticed is that was basically like holding the clutch in. It was like the bike would just roll even if it was in first gear. So I moved it back a little bit and the clutch started working again. Then I decided, I figured out this one here. So I thought this was what you do, but when I was going the wrong way. Now I'm going the right way. So you want to tighten this up so that the amount of space between these two things gets smaller. To adjust it, you just loosen this, and then you can turn this. Now this is really tight, so I used a pair of vice grips. You could probably use pliers, and just very carefully. I did about 20 turns. I can kind of do it with my fingers, it's just tough. But now, when I do the friction zone and when I release, it's 1, 2, and right at about 3 is when it starts to connect, and I can still hold it carefully. So that's how I changed the friction zone on my bike.